Welcome back, guys, to Ni no Kuni, the post-game, where we have been searching for the treasure of the castaway Corsairs. But in our final location, after speaking to Kupla, we'd find both the stone in front of us, you can see in the darkness, and a rift beast. So let's head down, see what the treasure actually is. It's another monument! It is too! The words on it all faded though, eh? Can't make head nor tail of them! Do you think it's something to do with Kupla's great-great-great-grandfather's most valuable treasure? The one he told us about? It must be! Hey, if we use magic, we can probably make it so that we can read the words, huh? Go on then, give it a go! Give it a go indeed, so that would be turning back time, rejuvenate. Neato! The writing's just like new! Nice work, Ollie boy! Right then, let's have a read, shall we? The greatest treasure of all. They say that life is an adventure. And so it is proof for us, braving terrible storms and giant waves. We've explored every corner of this wondrous world. We've seen such sights as no man could imagine, felt cold that chilled the blood, and heat that singed the skin. We've amassed countless treasures and spent just as many, bested countless foes and paid victory's heavy price. Finally, our journey is at an end. After all this time and all this travelling, I discovered the greatest treasure of all. A life spent with friends. To this, no worldly wealth can compare. As a tribute to the times my friends and I shared, I have made records of my dearest memories and placed them around the world we explored together. I hope that one day, another adventurer will find them, and will discover the value of companionship on one's journey. Here lies Kublai Khan, the third of that name, captain of the indomitable spirit. So it's a grave, is it? I guess so. Gee, it sure sounds like Kublai's great-great-great-grandfather had a fun life. So the time you spend with your friends is the greatest treasure in the whole wide world? That's a bit pretentious, isn't it? Huh? Well, I think I kind of get what he's saying, though. I mean, my memories of travelling around this world with you guys, they're the best I have. Yeah, but, Ollie boy, that is really, crikey. He's flipping boring by here, innit? Let's get back to Castaway Cove, shall we? Yes, we shall indeed, to finish off the quest line, but not before we start the episode proper of a boss fight, as we have been doing in the post-game. So this far up, I imagine we will see a very pirate-themed fight, a pirate-themed start, as we start off against a pirate, that's for sure. Can't remember his name now, it's like Crossbones. Oh, you having a laugh, man? There's a rift all the way out over here. No matter how many of these flipping things we patch up, there always seems to be another one. I'm getting sick of the sight of them, man. Still, I suppose we can't just walk away from it like. What do you reckon, Ollie boy? I reckon I walked myself into a dead end logically with my speech lines. Hold on tight then. I reckon we're in for a right tidy fight this time. Right tidy fight? Did I read that right? Whatever, it's Commodore Crossbones. I remembered your name at least a little bit. Right, sir. Start with the usual combination. These are for the buffs. And then a big old whack of damage, of course. 420 of the stuff, and weakness as well. That's not looking good. Get in there. And everyone, go to work. Take them on as fast as possible, though the whole weakness thing isn't going too well. So maybe we want to switch over to something like Mornstar, eh? Oh, we cancel the attack, and now we have our chance. Oh, brilliant. Well, let's buff within the strength. Seems of everyone wailing on him. And that counter gave us exactly what we needed. Sword on sword play by two pirates. Quickly evaded that one. The other guys didn't get away with that so easily, though. We've got Mora out for an extended time thanks to inner strength. It seems Mora is definitely the best way to go about this. Mora's just got Crossbones here, Commodore Crossbones, promotion and all. Completely locked down. We don't have her out for much longer. It's almost time, and now we move on. Some light spells with half the HP down. I don't like the sound of that. We fell asleep on top of that. Not so good. Right, Swain. Switch over to you in the meantime. Hopefully Esper will do the healing. Let's get to work. Psych up. Go wild, though. Mind you, he ended up pretty much further away than we expected, and we're not really getting any damage in whatsoever. Oliver's fully healed. Psych up definitely wasn't the best move to use there. Right, back to you, sir. Oliver.
Here goes now.
Send out the monster. 593 damage, brilliant. And now, of course, I've got to keep my distance. Hope the other guy's going to work, but if this guy's only using single target abilities mostly, it's not exactly going to be hard to dodge them, is it? We keep them on Ollie with Monstar. I'm going to work no problem. Oh, he's cancelled my spell. How irritating of him. Plunder all you want, sir. Did he heal himself with plunder? Vampiric in nature. The undead. We hate them so. Keep all that attacking, guys. They can only hit him so much. Get in there, Jack Skellington. Dead versus undead. Defend that, no problem. And then back to Freezer. Because it seemed best when we were hacking away with Mori, even though she was doing weakness damage. Just for the fact that she could counter pretty well. Belly Buster works, however, for some quick damage. Ow, Moro! Fading like that works as well. Especially when it gives us lovely golden limbs. It seems Esper's completely moved over to not using familiars lately. I'll dodge that one, no problem. Give me a golden glim for that one as well. Moro using evade rather than defend, it works brilliantly. Got ourselves a counter. Come on, guys, get in there. There's more I have to do all the work for us. Well, another golden glim drop from my brilliant evasion. Not to toot my own horn or something, but Commodore Crossbones is down. Did some quite good dodging when I got into that, didn't I? Ooh, quite pleased. Some episodes I'm good, some episodes I'm horrifically bad, and I've started off well. It's always good when you do. 2 more levels for our newest party members. Fairly nice stat gains as well. Bounty hunt complete. Report Swift Solutions to claim your reward, but of course, we're reporting to Castaway Cove first of all. We'll do the bounty hunts there, I guess. Give it in. We'll be good and proper. We have one more errand to do after this, only one more, and then it's full-on bosses in the Solaceum. Right then, kid, we found the treasure, and the treasure is friends, which is kind of what you wanted to do anyway, wasn't it? With your whole pirate crew of justice. Ah, you have finally returned. You have something to report, perhaps? We sure do. Kublai Khan III was our friend Kublai's great-great-great-grandfather, and he was the captain of the Castaway Corsairs. Ah, I thought as much. Truly I did. So Kublai sent us off to find out what the old fellow left behind, see? The greatest treasure of all, innit? Haha, and what did you find? Just tell me at once. But it's probably not what you were expecting. What? Surely not another puzzle. Ah, man, it was old Kublai Khan's grave, innit? His grave? Uh-huh. There was a message, too. After all this time and all this travelling, I've discovered the greatest treasure of all, a life spent with friends. Proper wise words from the old sea dog there, innit? Memories of good times with your buddies are way more precious than boring old treasure, like. Hold on, no they flipping in. What a load of old rubbish. That pirate wants his head looking at. I see. So there never was any treasure to be found. Kublai III's words have only made me more determined to have my own adventures with friends, of course. Gee, that's great. We'll be rooting for you and your friends. Ah, thank you. Though our search for treasure was not successful, the tales you brought back with you gave me untold pleasure. In fact, please allow me to give you this in exchange for all the excitement you have brought into my life. 2 evil eyes and 5,000 guilders. Why, thank you. Most importantly, Tons of stamps. Oh, what? You plus another 5 as a bonus? That's all of them then, I guess. Oh, and please, take these also. I found them in the governor's storeroom near to the place where I discovered the map. I was a bit confused by why the stamps kept going past dead. May they help you to manufacture the mightiest of weapons. Alchemical formulae. Thank you, kid. Or sir, or pirate of justice, whatever we should call you. What kind of things we get? Of course, it said weapons, so primordial sword here, skyfall sword, collider stones. Everything needs those horrible things. And a flit wing could be made there for a blade. Glowstones and evil eyes we have, but we don't have a flit wing, whatever that is. And a long shank, which we need a giant spear to do, but we have all the other stuff as well for that. There's a lot of items that need to be mixed and matched and all that jazz. Well, those are things for internet guides, are they not? Right, sir. We want a bounty. Well, give us in the one we've done for the Nyx Nashers, which we already have a fair supply of, to be honest. Can we also claim Merit Award? Because we've actually filled up our last card. So we now have Jack, Amend All Merit Award, recover HP while walking. Not bad, but not the most important one, but that is a full Merit Award board. Completely filled up, you have earned a trophy, superhero! Hooray! I don't need to see you anymore, apart from handing in bounties. We're a superhero and all that. Right, so we have one more errand left to do, and if I remember correctly, it was someone calling us to Ara Memoriae. So let's just travel straight over. If I can find it, that is. Oh, Ara Memoriae is at the end. Brilliant. One last quest. How many more bounties do we have on top of that? We have the one last errand, which is, of course, this one down here, 136. A note has been posted on the errand board at every branch of Swift Solutions stating I'm waiting at Ara Memoriae. And bounty-wise, I should go up to get there faster. We've still got the Miasma Marshes boss to beat. Hamlin we have to visit as well. It's just those two by the look of it. So let's head into Ara Memoriae. Find out what's going on. I kind of guess who it is that's requested us. It might be the man in green, Horace. Horace. Though these steps they are long to climb. Maybe if we jump we'll get there a little bit faster. Come on. Studio Ghibli jump. So Horace, what do you want from us? One last final riddle? One last final quest? It's always been riddles with you after all. Oh yes, Spirit Medium. Don't forget that, Sam. Don't forget Spirit Medium. Oliver, there is something I need to tell you. What is it, Horace? I must tell you about Nazcaa and Cassiopeia, and about myself. Before you attempt to save Cassiopeia, you deserve to know the truth. It may take some time, but I hope you can spare the time to listen to what I have to say. Sure. Not a hard task? Thank you, Oliver. Our story begins here long ago, where the kingdom of Nazcaa once flourished. Though it may appear bleak and barren now, in those days it was a mighty empire that combined mighty magic with advanced technology. It was a prosperous realm where poverty and pestilence were all but unknown, as people enjoyed a life of peace and plenty. But man was never wont to count his blessings, and greed soon reared its ugly head. In spite of all they had, the populace demanded more. Friends turned upon one another, families were torn apart, and each citizen strove to better his own lot and outdo his neighbour. Sounds like a recipe for a right old mess, that! Indeed it was. It led to a series of conflicts that would span centuries, the Wizard Wars. But the course of history was changed with the arrival of a single wizard. Wow, one wizard made that big of a difference? Look at yourself, Ollie boy. Indeed, this wizard wielded not one, two wands. His mastery of magic was unparalleled. He soon turned the tide of the war. Through his power, the bitter conflict that many thought would never end was brought to a conclusion in the space of mere days. Crikey, sounds like someone you'd want on your side in a fight. He was indeed very. He was lauded as a hero by all the peoples of the world, and his reward was the crown of Nazcaa. Thus did he become the Wizard King. The Wizard King? Cassiopeia's father? The very same. Now shortly after peace returned to the world, the Wizard King hid one of his wands in the distant land of Autumnia. He sealed it away that it might never be used for evil. Which brings me to my latest puzzle, haha! It has been some time since I last posed you a question, has it not? I guess it has, huh? Excellent, my question is this: what was the name of the wand that the Wizard King sealed away? Oh, come on. I believe that you know it well. I own it. Speak to me again when you have your answer. No problem at all. So what is your answer, Oliver? What was the name of the wand? It's Mornstar, sir. You should know very well that I know, and we shouldn't have to go through these formalities of answering a question. And man, I wish this was a QWERTY keyboard. QWERTY is the way to go. QWERTY, QWERTY, Indeed, it was the very one that you carry with you now. I wonder how the valley where it was sealed fares. In those days, it was filled with the most beautiful flowers. Let's continue our tale there. Okay, well, I'll be waiting for you, Oliver. Come and find me in Tombstone Trail, in Mornstar's Crypt, somewhere along those lines. Well, looks like we're going to be travelling off a fair way. And for something that I've missed last episode, maybe I should tell you guys a story. Sit down and read that one. The 12 Tales of Wonder, the new one that we've obtained, which seems to be the 12th and final tale. Not that there seems to be any order for it. But here we go. The Young Woman's Journal, Storytime of Alexandri. An old traveller stood on a street corner, telling a crowd of people all about his adventures. The crowd enjoyed listening to his tales. One of them asked, "What is the most incredible thing you have ever seen?" The old traveller thought a while and answered, "Let me tell you about a notebook I found. I was travelling through some truly inhospitable terrain. Jungle so thick that no light passed through its canopy, located in the foothills of a steep mountain range. I was certain that I was the first human set foot in the place, until I came upon a notebook. Imagine my surprise when I looked inside and saw that it was a young girl's journal. I became obsessed with it. I couldn't stop thinking about this little girl and what had happened to her. Listen to these entries. Did you ever hear of a tale so wondrous as hers?" Let's look at the entries, literally. I wonder where you've gone. I've been looking for you all this time, but I can't find you anywhere. Passing through a village today, I heard some people talking about you. They described you a little differently from what I remember, but it was definitely you. They said you were heading north, so that's where I shall go too. I don't believe it. They say you've thrown yourself into some kind of swamp, something called the Miasma Marshes. Why would you do such a thing? What am I going to do now? I finally found someone who could tell me about these Miasma Marshes. It doesn't sound good. It seems that those who gaze in the marshes are lured towards them by the evil spirits who reside there. They prey on those who've been overcome by despair and compel them to throw themselves in. Is that what happened to you? I finally understand the mystery of the Miasma Marshes. Well, I know what I have to do. Last night, a travelling wizard told me that people in this world share a soul of a person in another world. These people are called soulmates. According to him, soulmates' lives are intertwined and affect each other. By throwing themselves into the Miasma Marshes, however, people can cut the bond that links them to their soulmates, allowing their hearts to be consumed by evil. Those who have done so are beyond redemption. Even releasing the evil from their hearts and reconnecting them to their soulmate does not bring back the person they once were. He told me something else as well, something important. I need some time to think about what to do next. It is decided. I must become a wizard. It is the only way I can save you. It's been several years since I last wrote in this journal. I'm a great sage now, capable of breaching time itself. I've decided to go back and rescue the other you. I'm going to take good care of him right from the very start. I know I'll never be able to return to this time, but I will not regret this. In the other world, I'll find the floating soul to which you were once connected, and I will absorb it. That soul will then be reborn as my own child. I'm setting out on a journey, a long journey to acquire the life that I need in order to save you. That is the least I can do for you, after what you did for me. I believe that one day your soul will return, and that we'll meet again. You saved me. You sacrificed everything for me. You gave your life so that I could live mine. I must see you again. After the old traveller had finished reading the journal, the crowd that had assembled before him stood silent for a long while. Before any of them could think of what to say, the old traveller turned around and shuffled off to continue his wanderings. But just as he was about to leave the town, he looked back at his dumbstruck audience and addressed them once again. The notebook wasn't the only thing I found that day. There was a wand lying next to it. I think it must have been hers. And so we know exactly who wrote that notebook. Oliver's mother. Right, so we're off to find Horace. Let's go hunt him down the Tombstone Trail. It's time for the power of editing. Let's go. And so we catch up with Horace on the top of Tombstone's Peak. What does he want this time? What does he want to tell us about? And does he have another riddle or some kind of puzzle for us? Spirit medium, of course. Let's get talking. Thank you for coming, Oliver. This valley changed so much. It was once a place of beauty, awash with flowers of every colour. I can't believe that. No matter, what is done is done. Now let me continue my tale. The Wizard King ascended the throne and won great renown as a just ruler, treating all his subjects equally, be they human or otherwise. They in turn repaid him by rallying around their new monarch, and together they rebuilt the ruined realm more swiftly than any had thought possible. So he got all the beasties pulling their weight too, did he? I never knew that, man. Nice! Indeed, the Wizard King truly was a man like no other. It was then, with the kingdom all but rebuilt, he chose 3 servants from among his subjects. A swashbuckling sea captain to represent the race of men, a great wolf to represent the animals, and a serpent lord to represent the creatures. Each was wholly devoted to his master, and did all that the Wizard King asked. But of the 3, the serpent lord was the wisest, and the most committed to his master's cause. He was known as the King of Cobras, and what a mind he had. Hard to think how he was then. This seems as good a time as any for your next question. You've encountered these 3 servants on your travels, but can you recall the name of the mighty snake you faced, the King of Cobras? I'm sure listening to me will have served to jog your memory. Speak to me again when you have your answer. Got it. Do you have the answer, Oliver? It's A-Pep with 2 A's. Or A-Pep, however it's supposed to be pronounced. That should be correct. That is correct. Though the 3 servants achieved so much, their reward was to be chased without dignity from the kingdom they had helped to build. But perhaps that is a tale for another day. Yes, we'll continue our tale in the very ruins where you faced A-Pep. I'll tell you of how the Wizard King's 3 most loyal servants were driven to the path of evil. Until then, Oliver, farewell. So we go give chase once again. These questions aren't hard after all. But onwards to the chamber of the King of Cobras. So we have chased down Horace into the King of Cobras' lair. Beautiful place that it is, with the frog statue out over there. But what do you want, sir? What is your next riddle? Tell us more, spirit medium. Thank you for coming, Oliver. Shall we continue our tale? I said I would tell you of how the 3 keepers were driven from the kingdom, how they became evil. Below the king, at the head of the Nazcaa government, sat the Council of 12, a group of lords known as the Zodiacs. Horrible blokes, we know. They were responsible for the day-to-day running of the kingdom, and were supposed to be the ruler's closest advisors. But the Wizard King's rise to prominence was a source of consternation for the council, who feared his great power and the loyalty he commanded amongst the keepers. And so as soon as Nazcaa was rebuilt, and stability restored, the Zodiacs conspired to assassinate him, and their conspiracy was a success. That's horrible. With the Wizard King eliminated, the council had complete control of the kingdom. The king's infant heir, Queen Cassiopeia, became no more than a puppet. To compound their villainy, the council successfully implicated the keepers in the assassination, and they were banished from Nazcaa. A-Pep lost all faith in humanity, and soon the power of the stone in his possession began to corrupt him, transforming him at last into a servant of evil. Indeed, it was he who reduced this once great city to the ruins you see before you now. That's bad, like, but you gotta feel sorry for a minute. Being framed for murdering your mate would be enough to make anyone go off the rails. Perhaps, but A-Pep possessed great wisdom. None could have predicted that he would suffer such a spectacular fall from grace. Speaking of predictions, yes. Open the book. You mean the Wizard's Companion? I do. As you may or may not know, its authors were able to see into the future. Turn to the final page. A prophecy is written there. A prophecy of what would become of a certain individual. That person's name, too, is hidden in there. Can you discover their identity? This puzzle is much like life. You start at the bottom and work your way to the top, not forgetting to begin at the beginning, of course. The solution is not a simple one, but a worthy wizard will see to the heart of the problem. That makes it sound like some kind of riddle, like, do we do something upside down, or... The final page, you said, yes? Right. Out of the darkness comes light, not forgetting to start at the beginning. Keep this book ever at your side's word, and you shall one day be called a sage. Permit us to leave you with a poem, a prophecy. Heed it and repeat not the mistakes of the past. High above the clouds, the child of white light cast the world once more into darkest night. The path unto the dawn was never fair, it is one fraught with suffering and despair. Well knoweth she of both their power, entombed there in her ivory tower, though full many have sought to breach her keep. Its walls are too high, its mysteries too deep. Hope springeth yet amidst the flowers, when you find them you will find her bower. Each time you fear that you have lost your way, hark unto the child, mark what she would say. To your own self be true, all rests upon you. Well, if it's harking upon a child, this prophecy is obviously about... well, she, so it's P. Otherwise you could think Oliver, possibly, but it's P. But doesn't this work? What does he mean by seeing it upside down? Because, like, some of these images are upside down, that's for sure. On one side, it's like... I'm not sure. At least that bit's upside down, it seems. That's just reflecting sun and night, I guess. Can you read it from the other way round? Hearken to the child, mark what she would say. Each time you fear that you have lost your way. When you find them, you will find her bower. Hope springeth yet amidst the flowers. Its walls are too high, its mysteries too deep. Though full many have sought to breach her keep. Entombed there in her ivory tower will know if she hath both their power. It is one fraught with suffering and despair. The path until the dawn was never fair. Cast the world once more into darkest night. High above the clouds, the child of white light. Kind of does work both ways. I'm guessing it definitely means P. Do you have the answer, Oliver? I do indeed. P. It's gotta be. Unless you want me to write Cassiopeia. That is correct. It was saying child after all. Perhaps one day the people of this world will see that the White Witch had nothing but the best of intentions. First, she must make amends for what she did. Despair is no excuse. I guess you're right. I remember when she was a kind little girl who loved flowers above all else. But that is a story for another time. If you're interested, I plan to visit a cave that lets one see into the past. I wish to see the old Cassiopeia once more. There's a cave that lets you see into the past? You have not heard of it? I'm certain it is mentioned in that book of yours. When you've discovered its location, come and gaze into the past with me. Until then, Oliver. Farewell, sir, farewell. I'm pretty sure we know the location of that, where we've seen images of the past before, apart from in Oliver's dreams. It'll be the Glittering Grottos, let's go! And we find Horace once more, exactly where we experienced visions of the past before. So let's go and talk to him, a hop, skip and a jump. Hello, Horace. Oh no, forgot! Spirit Medium! I've been waiting for you, Oliver. Shall we continue our tale? Flowers always held a special significance for the people of the Kingdom of Nazcaa, who were seen as sacred symbols of peace and hope. Queen Cassiopeia loved nothing in the world more than flowers, and her every free moment was spent tending to her garden. The castle was always bursting with colour, beautiful bright flowers of every imaginable hue. Cassiopeia grew to be a splendid, spirited young woman, everything her father could have wished for, and all that I had always hoped she would become. Huh? So you knew Queen Cassiopeia when she was growing up? I did. I knew her from when she was a mere babe in arms. But I digress. This talk of flowers and gardens, it reminds me. You have a wand made from an old stick, do you not? Oh, you mean the one P gave me? That one was a gift from the Wizard King and I to the young Cassiopeia. It was? Jeepers! On it, we engraved our most deeply held wish for the princess's future. Ah, it was so long ago. I wish to hear those words again. Tell me, Oliver, what does it say? I actually already know the answer to this because someone actually asked in the comments of one of the videos what it meant, so I translated it. And I know exactly what it says. Do you have the answer, Oliver? I do indeed. You might remember this comment appearing, actually, if you watch the whole series. Don't really think I need to go to lowercase or not, but it just feels like sensibilities. Sensibilities. Space, down the bottom right. We haven't had to put space in any of these for a while. Bring hope. That is correct. My most deeply held desire was that the people of Nazcaa should never lose hope. The hope of a brighter tomorrow. But what befell the realm after the Wizard King's untimely demise put paid to any such wishes? The Council of 12 devoted themselves solely to personal gain and thought nothing of the plight of the people. If only I'd done more. What do you mean, Horace? I said that I would tell you the truth, did I not? There is something I must confess to you. Something I did. An act for which I can never forgive myself. Come to the Ivory Tower, to the chamber where the council sat. There I shall tell you everything. Until then, Oliver. So it seems one final visit to Horace, but we're going to have to do that next episode because we've run out of time for this episode of the Ni no Kuni post-game. Join me for more tomorrow, and I'll see you guys around. Bye-bye.